Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. It is just me this time. We know we haven't posted anything here in a little bit, probably about a week or more. Life circumstances have just kind of kept us from being able to record anything or get anything out. But we wanted to make sure that we gave you some kind of content here this week. And I haven't done one of these in a while, but I would like to try to, on occasion, get back into this and put some book reviews out. So as always, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. And don't forget to check out our social media, which will show up, leave it below. And just follow us there on Instagram, Facebook, and check out our website. Yeah, and as always, thanks so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that fun and exciting stuff that you do here on YouTube. Let's jump right into the review. As you may have noticed from the intro, the book that I'm focusing on is called Original Sin: A Cultural History. This is about Alan Jacobs, or by Alan Jacobs. And from Amazon, Alan Jacobs is professor of English at Wheaton College in Illinois, and he's the author of other books such as The Narnian, and is widely published in the areas of literary and cultural criticism. The reason that I chose this book is it's for another project that I am working on that hopefully will get out sooner than later. We'll have to see time-wise and prep-wise if that works. But a lot of my study and a lot of what I've been looking into is the issue of sin. And so as a result, I was drawn to this book. I was drawn to the idea of the book. In my search with regards to what I was looking for books that focused on really providing a definition of sin. And I will say that when it comes to this text by Alan Jacobs, it doesn't provide you necessarily a definition of what sin is, but throughout the pages of his book, he aims to really show and to expound a little bit upon the discussion of original sin. You know, where we came from with it, how it ties into faith, and how it ties into theological discussions and our better understanding of God, and just the different voices that have played a part in this discussion over the centuries. A lot of where he starts is looking at the disagreement between Pelagius and Augustine, and he builds a lot on this idea of Augustine, which in my studied a lot of people have built upon his ideas in terms of what original sin is and the impact it has on mankind. Overall, I think it's a great read with regards to understanding a little bit more of the history of where this conversation has been. He'll bring in, as I mentioned, Augustine and Pelagius and other pretty big names like John Wesley and Finney, and even some more modern names, and not even all Christian, where he focuses on people like Dawkins, who is obviously a staunch atheist and doesn't believe in God. So I really appreciated seeing those different viewpoints and those perspectives about this discussion. I think throughout the book it was definitely interesting to see just the different viewpoints where they either swayed more towards the idea that yes, sin is there, but we don't need to worry about it anymore because of Christ and because of God's work through history, to the extreme of, in reality, to say that it's there. It's part of humanity. It's part of our foundation. It's part of what we're born with, what we wrestle with, and even from birth through death, it's just a reality of who we are as people. So I think Jacobs does a great job of really laying out this historical discussion. If you're the type of person who really loves historical ideas and especially historical discussions, I think this is going to appeal to you on a large scale. If you have a hard time following along and you have a struggle with just focusing on what you're reading, like I do sometimes, all the names and dates and order of events and things like that brought us to where we are today, it can get a little jumbled at times, but that's just a little thing. That's more on a reading style than it is anything else. I will say that Jacobs did a great job just laying it out from the earliest discussions, even back to where we're getting our original idea in Genesis, up through modern day discussions, at least as modern as 2009 when the book was published. I will say that in the midst of reading through and looking at the imagery and things that he really laid out, I think strongest image that really stood out to me is he recounts Rebecca West, who did a lot of research and study when it comes to Yugoslavian background, which was really interesting. And this was right around World War II-ish era. And just her experiences in encountering, I believe, if I'm remembering the story right, the story of, you know, a two-headed calf that was born, and just the connection that was made there, that whenever the monks or whoever it was fed this calf, the healthy head would take in the milk, which was a life-giving milk, but the unhealthy head would constantly spit it out. And as like odd as that imagery might be, I think that image, it's definitely one that stands out in terms of understanding more of sin and the reality that when we get to understand more of who people are, we realize we're created in God's image, but no matter what good may be presented to us, there's always that desire to push that good out, even if we don't necessarily understand why that's there. So I really appreciated that imagery. I really appreciated his approach to the discussion and what he offers. I also appreciate the fact that he doesn't really try to take a side as far as where he falls in the discussion. He kind of just puts the information out there and lets people decide on their own. A lot of good stuff, a lot of things that can help better understand the historical context of our discussion on sin and the role that it plays. And I would definitely recommend this as something to have in your library to refer back to, just as you're looking for a really quick synopsis of where this discussion has been. I do believe that when we look at the Christian understanding of sin, it's something that we don't bring a lot of attention to, even though we probably should. So overall, I definitely highly recommend this book. I don't know if I'm going to do a rating system at this point, just whether I recommend or not is all that I'm going to do. And I would say if you're looking to understand more of just the historical conversation that has taken place on original sin and how we got to where we are today with it, I would definitely recommend giving this book a chance. You know, pick it up, take time to read it. I'll link it below in the description so you can check it out for yourselves. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for this review. So I'd love to know what you think. If you've read this book, if you've heard of this book, definitely comment down below, and I look forward to hearing the feedback. And I am open to hearing of different titles that you would love for me to check out and read and review in the future. As I said, I'm going to try to do these a little more often, but with time and how slow I tend to read things, we'll see how often that takes place. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this really kind of odd video at this time, but we look forward to interact with you a little more, and there are more cooking videos and different things coming up here in the next week or so, so just keep an eye out for them. So until next time, guys, take care, and we'll see you then. Bye.